All right, folks, it was pretty wild on Monday in Dolton, Illinois, where they had their monthly board meeting, and citizens, trustees, and the mayor went back and forth. It was, again, absolutely insane. Here's some of what happened.
I want to start out by saying self-accountability is a bad thing in this administration. The mayor can blame everybody for what's going on, but she has to look at herself. Nobody told her to get on TV and lie like that. Blatant lies. Did you spend this on a credit card? No, sir. I don't know where they got that from. That's unexcusable. These are easily verifiable lies. That's unacceptable. That immediate attention didn't kick up until them lies came out on WGN. Nobody was really paying attention for checking for Dolton like that until then. Also, the financial reports. Who's the finance chair? Stan Brown. Does Stan know anything about the finances? Can he answer any questions? The trustees don't have the credit card receipts. The mayor's village reports and financial reports. Does Stan have it? Because the rest of the trustees don't have it. And she's going to say everybody's lying. They do have it. The attorney general is asking for credit card receipts. I guess the attorney general is lying too. So this is where we're at in the village. It's self-accountability, and the mayor can blame everybody. I know she wants to say I'm a black woman, and it's because I'm a woman. You know how many women that she's affecting? Look at what she did to Dr. Scott down the street. She won't even let her open up. Look how she talks to the other black women up here. These are all single mothers, just like her. Look how she talks to them. Look how she talks to the clerk who's old enough to be her mother. Look how disrespectful she is. If y'all can't see that, a lot of y'all do see that. I just don't refuse to see it. She's so disrespectful. And she told Brittany, don't say nothing else. I don't want to hear from you no more. How do you talk to an adult like that who's elected? Everybody that works for her know how disrespectful she is. So department heads, be careful. Like Chief lied last time and got caught out. The cars were about to get repoed. Oh, that's handled, Trustee House, when it clearly wasn't handled. So when you be careful, there's life after this girl, and you have to move on. And if you're on camera lying for her because she told you to lie, believe me, it's all recorded. Everything's recorded. And be careful not to lie on something that can easily be proven that you lied. The chief said it was handled. It wasn't handled. They almost repossessed the cars. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. So trustees, residents, keep watching the Dolton Trustee YouTube page. We're going to keep putting this madness out here because it got to stop. It got to stop. And again, nobody was checking for this until the mayor got on TV and lied right through the camera. Smooth, without a bite in the eye. That is dangerous when you can lie like that easily. Or stuff that you know can be verified is true. So thank y'all so much. Trustees, keep fighting. Keep holding this administration accountable. Keep fighting for transparency. And don't let her bankrupt this town and then blame it on y'all.
I'm Valerie Stubbs, former trustee for the Village of Dolton, 23-year resident. Been in politics all my adult life. I'm 65 and I've been in politics ever since I was 18. It was a statement made by Keith Freeman that the Village of Trustees would not vote on to take a bond out for Homewood disposable. Well, for $1.4 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. The residents pay over $2 million every year for Homewood disposable that's included in their water bill. So I wanted to know why in the world would you want to take out a bond that the residents have to pay along with the interest, notwithstanding after you pay the $1.4 million, you have $600,000 to the good. It was also stated, and that gentleman said it best, that Mr. Keith Freeman, if you can't take care of the business of your own house and pay your bills, and this is public information, and you have to file bankruptcy, and you do not include both of your salaries, the one from Thornton Township. I don't know what your position there is because I have FOIA and my FOIAs don't get answered. And also the village administrator. I've asked, are you a village administrator, 1099 or with benefits, or are you just a plain 1099? So today, I'm asking that you either step down or the trustees for the village of Dolton that voted you in to vote you out because you are no good for the residents of this community.
Greetings to the citizens, elected officials, and media especially. We need the media simply because there are strategic power outages at certain times throughout these proceedings, just like last week. And denials notwithstanding, we know that's a blatant lie. Secondly, I usually address most of my comments to the audience, but I'm going to talk to Tiffany Henyard and Keith Freeman. Keep my name out of your mouth, okay? Now, unless you want it back, because you will get it back. I'm just letting you know face to face. I'm not going behind your back. I'm telling to your face, please, we're not on a first name basis. Let's not pretend anymore, okay? We got that? I hope you got that. Next, I couldn't believe I looked at this agenda and saw the word secret squirrel on a freaking, on a professional agenda for a village. If you look on that first page, she has secret squirrel meeting on there. You know what made that necessary? 11 council meetings. There have been 11 meetings like this that have been canceled where the trustees get to get their agenda items on the agenda, and they have been unilaterally canceled by this secret squirrel administration because squirrels hide stuff. They bury stuff in the wintertime and hide that dirt. This is what is happening right now. So if you want to put secret squirrel on a freaking agenda, get some help. Secondly, City Hall, this City Hall that we pay for has been shut down 11 times in a row. That's why we have to have those other meetings. We can't even get access to our City Hall. Okay, think about that for a minute. Only because people want to hide their little secret squirrel agendas and then come back and rant and rave and insult people when they bring it up. That is absolutely pathetic. And I was wondering, is the Auditor General aware of what's going on here? If we can get something from get the Auditor General in here, because there is no way all of this paperwork has been, keeps staying hidden. The secret squirrel has buried it. So we need to deal with the secret squirrel's lack of transparency. This is what we got here. So we can sit up here and pretend this is an official proceeding, but there's another official proceeding that's supposed to happen every third week in the month, and it hasn't happened 11 times straight, and that is obviously intentional. So enough is enough, okay? If you're not going to be professional about it, you need to step down and leave us the hell alone.
All right, folks. Again, it was a lot of drama at the Dolton City Council meeting. Now, let me know if y'all have the video, because the mayor was also going off on people. You had the city clerk okay, let's roll it.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to the residents of Dolton for keeping me in your prayers. Thank you for loving on me, sending me uplifting messages. I do need that. As you can see, our village, our community, myself, we are under attack. It's a shame that people can come to meetings and just tell one-sided stories and not get the entire side of both stories. In the next week or two, you will hear myself speak to anything anyone has spoken about me, anything anyone has put out there, because it's facts over fiction for me. So I will state facts, I will show receipts, and I will make sure that our community is back together as one, because there's always one band, one sound. And I don't want people to get away from loving on each other, because there's so much hatred in the world that it amazes me how people can get together and come to a board meeting and just have hate in their heart and not love on each other, try to uplift one another. So my goal is to still continue to do that. What I ran for office for, I ran because I was and still am the people's mayor. I would not stop loving on you and providing a way for you. I wish that people will put facts out there, such as the money that we win and we got awarded. We don't have it. It's coming down the pipeline now for our community. All the programs that we create, all the housing issues that's in our community that we are standing in the fire for. I also want people to know that we help pay your light bill, gas bill, water bill. We even help you bury loved ones. We even did a mortgage and rental assistance, which was really, really dope. A lot of people came out to get assistance. These are things that people don't tell you that we do. Mental health. You guys know I'm really big on helping people get through whatever that issue is in their life at that moment, because people need help now. They don't need your help when you win or when you're successful. They need you when they're going through their hardship. And that's what I always have done, and I'm going to continue to do. Lead my people, provide a way for them, and go get resources and bring back to community, because right now the Black and brown communities are always last to get anything. And right now, today, our communities are first to get things.
Folks, but that was some back and forth between the city clerk and the mayor. This was crazy.
When could we get a copy of all the ordinances, resolutions, intergovernment agreements, all of that stuff?
Oh, I really need copies of the intergovernment.
What I'm asking, when can we get a copy of all those
copies of those too? First of all, you have to be specific. The clerk maintains the records of the village. So if there's something specifically you want, just like attorneys and everyone asks, they don't ask for everything. They ask for specific items. I am not to give you all of my records. I am the keeper of the records, okay?
You are, and that's not what I'm asking.
I'm still talking. Go
ahead.
Respect. So I'm the keeper of the records. If there's something specific you want, I have no problems turning it over. I have never refused to turn anything over. But to tell me to give all my files to you, that's incorrect. That's incorrect.
Okay.
That's all. I'm done with that.
All right, as long as you're done. All right. I'm asking for every single record that our village had. And when I'm asking for it, that don't mean you give me your originals. That means you make me a copy of them and you give me a copy of everything we're asking for. We've asked for ordinances, resolutions, intergovernment agreements, and you have not gave us anything. He had put it in email, meaning the village administrator has, and myself. We've asked and you have not gave us anything. So what day can I come down and you make me copies of everything and then I have what you have?
And just a point of reference, everything that you put on the agenda, I never get the original copy of.
Let's go back to what I'm asking you. What day can I come and get?
I get those? I'm not going to give you every record in my office because I'm the keeper of the records. I maintain the records of this village. Nobody else. I do. So if you want something specific, you can ask me for it, but you do not get all of my records. And I'm done with this conversation.
Okay, clerk. You do know that I'm gonna educate you again about the law and I'll educate the public. The mayor has the right to review any record in our village at any given time, for those that don't know how the rules work. So I'm asking again, the clerk, can I have the records, meaning a copy? You keep the original. I'm not asking for the original. I want a copy of what I'm supposed to check out that you're not allowing me to check out. So are you refusing me the opportunity to come in your office to review all the records, clerk? Are you refusing to allow me to do that, Clerk Key? Because we can go, I come down tomorrow at 9 a.m. But I want y'all to see that it's another side to all this. Y'all see the mess, whatever narrative they put out there, but you see that I don't even get things to do my job as it relates to an ordinance or resolution. Something so simple. You can just email it to me in all honesty. But I don't have it. And I'm asking her if she just went on mute, as you always see, and this why don't nothing get done as it relates to them. And then we have to go and fight and go back and forth about, can you FOIA the records? Why would I FOIA something that I'm entitled to get as a mayor? As a mayor, that's my job, for those that don't know that. But okay, she ain't got nothing else to say. Moving on, village administrative report.
My PAM, Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for environmental justice at the EPA out of D.C., Joe Richardson, civil rights attorney out of L.A., and Gavin Reynolds, contributor of The Root, and former speechwriter for Vice President Kamala Harris, joining us from New Haven, Connecticut. I don't know what in the hell is in the water in Dolton, Illinois, Mustafa, but it's utterly insane. I've covered crazy councils, and I dare say what we're seeing in Dolton, Illinois is one of the most childish, petty, ridiculous relationships ever. And there are some critical questions. There's some questions that I've asked the mayor when I asked about her foundation that they did not fully answer. You've got individuals with full-time jobs in the city of Dolton who also have full-time jobs with Thornton Township, and I'm confused because the same working hours. And so if you're the mayor, how do you have people working for you in the city of Dolton who also works for you in Thornton Township and they're full-time jobs? And this whole back and forth over records and all that sort of stuff like that, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know if Iyanla Van Zant is available to go talk to these folks.
Yeah, there's definitely a lack of governance that's going on there. I mean, I've sat in plenty of city council meetings, testified in city council meetings. I've never seen quite like this before. And you know, because there's this lack of respect between the two, it's just creating this larger and larger chasm. But Ida B. Wells once said the way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them. And I think that there's now a much brighter spotlight, not only on the dysfunction that is happening there, but also there seems to be some ethical, at least, violations, if not something greater that's there. You know, in relationship to people having double and triple jobs that are happening at the same time. And, you know, we really need to have it's unfortunate. Let me frame it that way. I'm saying it is unfortunate, one, that these types of behaviors are playing out, but two, that they're going to have the inspector general come in and actually taking a look at the books, taking a look at how and where resources are flowing. And if there are, you know, any things that are happening in that space that are either illegal or are sort of skirting the law, if you will. So, and then the last point is that it's so unfortunate that we have brothers and sisters who now have this spotlight showing their inability to be able to get, not only just to get along, but to govern in a way. Again, the last part also is that we've now seen these videos now where folks from the community, and of course, we're only getting a snapshot of the community, are saying that they are not happy with the job that is going on. When you are an elected official, your number one responsibility is to make sure that you are meeting the needs of the individuals who put you in office. So now that this bright spotlight that Ida B. Wells once talked about is now on Dolton and on those elected officials and others, the truth will eventually come out.
Well, Joe, I asked the mayor a series of questions last week regarding her foundation, and I said, how can a Dolton city employee be the one who sets up a foundation in your name? How can you have other city employees on the board of trustees? And how do you have a city vendor who is also one of the trustees? I specifically asked her and her PR people those questions, and I emailed all of those people except the vendor. Nobody responded. These are people who are getting taxpayer dollars. And see, I love all the people out there that said, oh man, you didn't press the mayor. No, that's why you ask the questions and you hear what they say, but you also hear what they don't say. And the bottom line is this here. The fact that the mayor and her team cannot give me those answers now raises questions about everything she said in the interview with me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bode well. I was watching it from a distance, and let me say something. Dolton is entirely too small. I'm in a 70,000 person town.
20,000 people.
I'm in a 70,000 person town, and so it's a third the size of my town, and we're not on national news for some stuff like this. That can never be good. And what I hope for the system, because I don't want to see nobody get in trouble. Okay, don't start none, won't be none. I don't want the system to get in trouble. What I'm hoping is all we're talking about is them being petty and them being childish and her being disrespectful. There's something to be said about that, but hopefully that's all it is. The problem is, if you look at the questions that are being asked and not necessarily answered, if you're looking at the sniff and the appearance, at the very least, of impropriety, and if you're looking at the lack of transparency, being transparent, and she starts everything that she's saying with everything she does well for the community. So it's like, hey, we did this, this, and this, so it's okay if I don't let you know what I'm doing. If it's okay if I'm less than transparent, or in a worst case scenario, for those that believe that way, and she hasn't been convicted of anything, it's okay that I steal. And she is drawing entirely too much heat for what's going on there. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. If she doesn't give up the ghost with those citizens, somebody gonna come in and get the information one way or the other, okay? Whether it's the inspector general, whether it's the state attorney general, or whether it's the federal government. Somebody is going to get this information, and maybe she is staking her place in the ground where she basically comes off like a Robin Hood that people are going to support no matter what. Well, that's not necessarily going to help her. On the other hand, you've got other folks, maybe like the city clerk, for instance, that are staking their place in the ground, saying at some point, this woman's going to fall, and it's going to be about who's on her side in perception and who's not, okay? So it might be hot in here, but I'm not going to get burned because I'm going to continue trying to do the right thing and create a record for every impropriety, for everything that it is that I am doing. It's always tough when you talk in generalities and not in specifics, and she talks a lot in generalities. She does detract some, go to some other things, but at some point and someday, she's not going to be able to do that anymore.
Gavin, to Joe's point, I mean, it's 20,000 people. It's way too much damn drama for this little bitty town.
Roland, I think you're so right. And I want to echo what my other two panelists have said thus far. To me, one of the most incredible things about local government is that when you have such a small town like Dolton, for example, residents, when it comes to local government, they trust, in most cases, local government to deliver for their needs, right? Because, you're not dealing with a massive bureaucracy at the state level, at the federal level. You're dealing with with your mayor, who you might see in the grocery store line. You're dealing with your city councilors, who you might see on the sidelines of a little league game. And typically that gives trust on the part of the American people to their local elected officials. And what we see time and time again is that as trust in the federal government and state government continues to decline, which level is it that Americans tend to trust the most? It's local government. It's unfortunate that episodes like these continue to happen. I'm worried that these sorts of occurrences can weaken that trust that Americans have in their local elected officials. And I also want to call out, right? You have young people, future leaders who are watching episodes like these transpire. And I think it's just really important. And I hope this serves as a reminder to elected officials at every level across the country. Young people are watching. And, if we want to make sure that, our next generation of leaders are going to be, continuing to move our country in the right direction, it's imperative that our leaders set good examples. And so I just hope that this situation gets resolved soon, and that we can also uplift some really great examples, right, of local government working and delivering for their constituents.
All right, folks. We're going to keep talking about what happens there because, again, people deserve answers. And at the end of the day, it shouldn't be this amount of drama in this small town. They got more drama in Dolton than they got in Chicago. That's how crazy this is.